All right, so you guys see the title, so we're probably gonna get straight. Matter of fact, before I get straight to it, man, make sure you get this video a thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe if you like the content, whatnot. And leave a comment for sure. I definitely want to hear you guys' feedback on this video. We're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna try to make this video under 10 minutes or so. But man, I feel strongly about this, man. And yeah, I might be a tiny bit biased because I'm an Errol Spence fan, but I really just believe Terence Crawford is scared to bet on himself, and it's showing up time and time again, man. So after the Kell Brook fight, there was a lot of rumbling. There was a lot of quotes from Bob Arum saying how he lost about 500,000 from Crawford last 3 fights or something like that. He's losing money constantly on these fights, and my fault. I'm on a strong thing. Let me get off this. This is where I need to be at right here. But he said he lost so much money on Crawford in these last 3 fights. He really hasn't profited. He's in the red. And the big thing that's surrounding this is we want the Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight. But the main reason why I think this fight is not going to happen anytime soon. Well, it might happen next year, but I still feel like it won't happen for some strange reason. Is because this guy, Terence Crawford, won't bet on himself. Oh, I don't want that audio to play. He refuses to bet on himself. And by that, I'm saying he knows that top rank. Listen, if top rank doesn't have any of the top welterweights that you can, I mean, his legacy. He's a Hall of Famer regardless, even if he never fought an A fighter a day in his life. But top rank doesn't have any of the top five welterweights. Let's say the top five will be this: Pacquiao. This is not even in order. Pacquiao, Sean Porter, Errol Spence, um, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia. Let me see if I can name some more that I will put before the green machines and shit like that. So I named five of those guys. Terence Crawford is including himself, so he's six. He's one of the six. I don't know if I would put anybody above those guys right now. Oh, I'll put Boots. I'll put Boots in there, even though Jerome, that is, if you guys know who that is. Um, I'll even say Virgil will probably be that top eight. Even though those last two guys are pretty young, they'll be in that top eight. But they're still kind of green, so I'm not even expecting Terence Crawford. They haven't built themselves up enough to really deserve that fight. So yeah, I'll put those five guys. So Danny, Sean, Errol, Pacquiao, and I guess I kind of want. I kind of don't. The only reason why I kind of don't want to say Thurman is just because he's always injured, bro. Like I'm not even. I don't even really want to consider him. But the point is, this point still stands. This guy refuses to bet on himself. So his contract with Top Rank, I can't remember the exact time that it was up, but it was no more than a year and some change ago. That Terence Crawford's contract with Top Rank was up, and he re-signed with them, knowing damn well he's not gonna get these fights. PBC is not gonna send any of their top guys over there. Yeah, if they send any PBC fighters, it'll be a guy like freaking like a Chris Algieri. Like it wouldn't be anybody. It wouldn't be any good guys. So the point stands is you knew that you weren't going to get these fights on Top Rank, but you know what he did? He said, "I'm going to take the secure money. I'm going to side with Top Rank." And I got some quotes from Bob Arum. I want to play this. So I don't want to steal none of Fred's like videos. So I'm just gonna play the audio more so than anything. I got the timestamp. So listen to what
But
Bob is saying. Oh
uh,
shit! I don't want no.
before
Oh, it's
last
audio.
night, I asked Top Rank, was he going to be able to keep Terence Crawford? And you said the question is, do we want him? I could build a house in Beverly Hills on the money I've lost on him the last 3 fights. Is that an
Well,
accurate?
but that's
Okay.
yeah, but that's not really the whole thing I said. I mean, it's an honor to promote the best fighter in.
So we already just heard. So I'm trying not to use as much audio because I don't want to get copyright or anything. But that was the quote that he said. He said, "I lost enough money to build a house in Beverly Hills." Oh my God, bro. That's more than that sound like it's more than 500K if I'm being totally honest. So I don't know where I got that 500K number from. I don't know. I'm just bumming. So and the main part of this interview that he had with Barbershop Conversations, Fred, The main thing that he was getting across is that Terence Crawford doesn't want to promote. And I've been seeing a lot of people say this week, "Oh well, isn't the promoter's job to promote?" Well, yeah, the promoter's job is to promote, but it still has to be some sort of effort given from the fighter. Now, there's another part of his interview where he talks about how they try to set up things for Terence Crawford to get promotion, but he refuses to do it. He doesn't want to open up to media. He just doesn't want to do these things. So if we're trying to line things up, he even said ESPN. He said not even Top Rank. ESPN has just offered to do these things. Like, yo, we want to get this guy up here into some of these shows, or do segments or do whatever, just to have him up there, and he just turns it down. So he's pretty much content with just being a good fighter. He doesn't care about being a superstar. Cause also Bob in his interview says this it might not it's not in this specific video right here. Go to Barbershop Conversation page. There's a few clips that you can go to, but it's not in that clip there. But he also says Bob says what we're paying. I think matter of fact it might be in this video. He says we're paying Terrence the most money of any fighter, with the exception of the top heavyweights. So that's like the Fury, Wilder, AJ, and Canelo. So you telling me this guy is a top five highest paid fighter in boxing, and he hasn't fought not one A level competitor yet? And you know why he's cool with that? Because he's getting paid big money to not fight any of the competition. So when his contract is up with Top Rank, and we're like, yo, why the hell would Terrence resign with Top Rank when we know the fights are to be made? He can make these big fights at PBC. It's because he just want to take the guaranteed money. He don't care about the legacy. We already heard Bud say, "Yo, I don't need Spence to solidify my legacy. I'm a Hall of Famer without it and everything like that." So this guy doesn't really care about making that Spence fight as much as we want him to. Now, I don't think he's ducking Spence per se, but I just don't. I think he's choosing the money over the fights, and I think he's really just content with making this big money. So we see he just got paid 4 mil against Cal Brook with that was a free TV fight. This is in the middle of a pandemic with no fans, no gate or anything. So he got paid 4 million with no fans in attendance. Nobody paying, nobody, no live gate or anything like that. So if he can get paid that type of money, imagine what he's gonna get paid with the gate. So Terrence does good numbers. He might not do great pay-per-view numbers, but he does good numbers on ESPN free TV. Well, I don't want to say free TV because technically ESPN is a cable channel, but basic cable channel. So I want to take a look at one thing too. We're going to touch on another subject real quick, and that is the Errol Spence 60-40 split decision. So earlier this week, Mike Coppinger, he had an interview with Errol Spence, and Errol Spence said, "Yeah, I think I will deserve 60-40, but I'm open to the negotiation. We still gotta have our people come. We still gotta have our two people come to the meeting. I guess that would be Bob Arum or Terry Crawford's lawyer, and Al Heyman, and we gotta sit at the table and work something out. So let's take a listen to that audio real quick.
Something like that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, let me.
Would you want 60-40 or something like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I definitely should get the bigger share. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Who's a bigger draw and things like that. So, he's a great fighter, has a lot of talent, has a lot of skills and ability. But I feel like 60-40 or whatever it may be. I feel like that's the right price. But
all right, so we're gonna continue the video. So if you listen to that, Errol Spence didn't say he wouldn't do the fight unless it's 60-40. He said I deserve 60-40, and it's based off the numbers, off the live. I guess you could say Errol Spence has been selling out. He sold out AT&T, which is it, AT&T Cowboy Stadium, AT&T. I'm not even 100% sure, but he sold out Cowboy Stadium. That was against Mikey. Then they were just at a Staples Center for Sean Porter, and if I'm not mistaken, that sold out. Did incredible pay-per-view numbers with both those guys, and Sean Porter and Mikey Garcia. I think he did 360 with Mikey, and I think he did somewhere around 350 with Sean Porter, a little bit under the 350. So this guy has shown back-to-back pay-per-views that he can do good numbers. And I guess, first people would say, well, most of those fans were Mikey fans, Mikey has a big following. Okay, well, what about Sean Porter? If he just did over 300K with Sean Porter, a guy who's not the biggest draw, even though he's a great fighter, he's not the biggest draw. He's not one of the bigger draws. Uh, got to give Errol Spence credit for that. But let's let this continue.
I mean, we at the end of the day, it's about sitting at the table. We haven't sat at the table. I mean, my manager and his promoter haven't sat at the table and talked. The discussion really, come in once, my manager get in it and, his promoter get in it, because I don't know what the fuck Bomac do.
So took a shot at Bomac. So like you said, man, it's still up. That's not a set in stone. Like, yo, I'm not taking a fight unless the 60-40 is I deserve 60-40. Your promoter even said that he's losing money, by putting on your fight. So, and I'm clearly, he didn't say this, but he's clearly surpassing when it comes to pay-per-view buys. So Crawford versus Postal and the undisputed fight did 60K pay-per-view buys, and it was only $60. And then Crawford and Khan only did about 120, 125, somewhere around there. And I just told you what Errol Spence did in his last 2 pay-per-view fights. So the numbers speak for themselves. He's a bigger draw. And the crazy thing is, Terence Crawford, even with the lack of A fighters on his resume, even with the lack of the pound for pound guys that he could have fought, he still could have been a lot bigger than he is if he just promoted, man. Like, now understand, like Bob Arum says in this interview that I'm about to go back to, he says he just doesn't want to put in no break. He gotta show his personality. These guys like Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, the Mayweathers, these guys put themselves out there, man. And even Errol Spence, I feel like Errol Spence is not even a crazy trash talk or anything like that. Yeah, he will talk trash. He's not like, he's not on the level like Teofimo or anything like that. But even Errol, he touches the people though. Like, does Terence Crawford go outside? Is he ever around any celebrities? Now, I'm not saying that's something you should desire, but if you want to make, well, I can't even say if you want to make big money, because clearly he's, like Bob Arum says, he's making the most money of any fighter besides Canelo and in the top heavyweights. But Bob's not seeing any return on entry, so he's not really seeing no profit. So it's more about expenses. He's just putting on these fights and he's losing money at the same time. So the ROI is not looking too good for Bob. But let's go back to this. Let me see. I got the timestamp written down. All right. Let's see, because I don't want to play all of this dude's audio. I'm gonna put this back on. Let's see. 5. All right.
Money.
Now, some may say like ESPN and Top Rank push Loma far more than they push Bud.
I've heard that a lot. I don't think that's the case, man. Now you can. I mean, but I guess I'll say this: Loma does. His highlights are probably more appealing to watch, but I don't know if they're necessarily pushing Loma more than they do Crawford. And even if they did do that, I'm not mad at it, because Loma's a guy that can't speak English, so. He's not really gonna have a big American fan base unless they put him out there, and so we'll let the audio continue.
Because Loma don't speak English.
That first of all, that's not correct.
Okay.
Except if that is apparent that may have happened, it's because Loma never refused an interview.
Nah, I will say that's probably true. Loma doesn't speak English, but I've seen Loma around way more than I've seen Terence Crawford. Especially, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily. I'm not even really well, a lot of it is recommended though. I don't just go out my way looking for a bunch of Lomachenko and Terence Crawford interviews, but I'm pretty sure if Terence Crawford was doing a lot more, he'd pop up in my on my YouTube feed. But we'll play this.
And Loma, even though English
Also, and I kind of lied. I said I thought this video would be under 10 minutes. It's definitely not. And that's just because I kind of changed my mind. I was thinking about doing 2 different videos where I talked about the 60-40 split and the Errol Spence Terence Crawford situation that they got going on. But I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna make one video.
wasn't his first language, always made himself available.
Mm-hmm.
So he made himself available. In other words, ESPN is the greatest platform. But, Crawford has to take time off and go on with Stephen Smith and go on with Max Kellerman, not only when he's doing a fight,
Yeah.
but when he's not doing a fight.
Sure.
And that's facts, man. I think I've seen one clip of Terence Crawford my whole time when where he wasn't like, of like any type of like just hanging out or doing anything while he didn't have a fight. And that was, I think it was a clip of, I think it was him, Shakur Stevenson, Clarissa Shields. I think they was at like a basketball court or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. I think they was playing a ball or something like that. But besides that, I've never seen Terence Crawford like on any videos unless a fight was about to happen. And I guess you gotta say he has to promote now. Oh shit. Also, I want to say this too. Look at Tyson. Look at the Tyson Fury situation. They had before the Wilder fight. They had him on WWE, bro. That is promoting. They put him in a storyline. I'm not saying Terence Crawford necessarily needs to do that, but you just gotta put yourself out there, bro. It's about making this money, man. At the end of the day, and being a big who does like Terence Crawford. He should be a pay-per-view star, honestly. Based off skill alone, he should be a pay-per-view star. It's just that, he's not been himself. He's not fighting any of the super elite guys. And then he just wants to stay on top rank. So it's kind of hurting him in the long run.
All of these guys, all of these platforms on ESPN would love to have Terence Crawford on their platform. Jalen Rose would love it. And it's all available to him, but he's got to want to do it.
So he's turned it down. So you're saying Top Rank has created.
Listen to what Bob says.
Created a vehicle for him to go on these ESPN platforms and other platforms.
Absolutely. Not that Top Rank has created it. We can't take all the credit. ESPN has created it.
ESPN has extended their hand. They didn't even need Top Rank to ask them. They were extending the freaking olive branch, saying, "Yo, do you want to come up here?" I guess it's like the Sports Nation. Like if you guys ever watch Sports Nations, like they just do stuff. It doesn't even have to be necessarily about who's your next opponent. It could just be come up here, have a good time, show a different side to you, show a different side of your personality. Let's just make you more how should I say? Let's just put you in the people who just watch sports daily, who watch these shows. Let's just put you in their faces so they think of you. They know who you are. So it's just stuff like that.
They're begging him to. He could be on every week.
So for a lot of you people, that's the last of the audio. I already used probably about a minute of his audio. So with that being said, man, Bob just laid out some huge stuff for us to know. He just said they would love to have you. It could have been every week if you wanted, man. You're a freaking star. Like, well, you should be a star, but he just doesn't want to, I don't know why I'm going to this. Let me go back. You guys don't need to be on my timeline. He had the opportunity. He's been turning it down. So when people say, well, why isn't Terence Crawford the biggest star? Bob Arum just let you know right there. We've tried to put him in better situations. He's not getting all the fights, but at the very least, we can make him a bigger name. He probably would be a bigger draw if he put himself out there for the big name fighters. So, and there was another clip too. This is the last thing I'm gonna talk about. where Bob says he had an interview on Fight Hype actually, so I'm not going to that video. You guys can look for that. He had an interview on Fight Hype where he said where the guy asked him if Pacquiao was on Top Rank before, why couldn't he get hold on. If he's about to be able to get this Pacquiao fight now, why wasn't he able to get that fight back then when Pacquiao was on Top Rank? And Bob just said simple as this, money. He said Terence Crawford. Basically, he's saying Terence Crawford wasn't that elite guy that was a big enough draw for Pacquiao to want to fight. Like, at the end of the day, and he even said, I guess if you really listen to that Fight Hype interview too, he says, damn, I'm trying to quote him exactly. I'm not gonna be able to do it verbatim, but he essentially says he's not even. We probably couldn't book that. We probably couldn't pay him the Pacquiao that money that he wants now in that Terence Crawford fight. But since the guys and damn, what's the place? Oh my God, I can't remember the place. Whatever, I think it's the Middle East or whatever. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember the place. But he said these are the only people that's offering to take care of that fee. Nobody else wants to take care of that fee for Pacquiao and Terence Crawford. So, with that being said, man, this video is about to come to an end. Let me know what you guys think. This is the two things I want to hear from you guys. Um, do you think Terence Crawford is holding himself back, or do you think it's Bob Arum? And do you think Errol Spence well, I'm not gonna say rightfully, I don't want to sway your opinion. Do you think Errol Spence should be 60-40 if that fight was do you think the split should be 60-40 if that fight was to go down? Just based on everything now. So things could change too. And the reason why I'm saying things could change too, because if Spence knocks out Danny Garcia in like highlight fashion, oh my God, that's gonna be way better than Kell Brook, washed up Kell Brook getting knocked out from a freaking jab. I don't even know how he went flying. Like he got hit with the freaking straight left from hell. But you know, like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'm heading up out of here. Peace.